morning, friends, and welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny, and we're gardening here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today, I'm going to be putting in a no-dig style flower bed out here at the front of my house where the sidewalk meets the front walk. I got started the other day on planting some shrubs, but come with me now and let's get the rest of this bed prepared. You may know that in my backyard, I've done a renovation this year. And back there, we did not use the no-dig method. We dug up the sod with shovels and then we laid compost and mulch on top of that. Today, I'm not going to be digging the sod, except where I need to plant in some plants. But what I'm going to be doing instead is using the no-dig method. And what that means is you prepare your soil simply by putting down something compostable like newspaper or cardboard or heavy paper, and you put that down right on top of the sod, right on top of any weeds you have or anything. And then on top of that you put compost, and then on top of that you put your mulch. And then you plant right into the compost. And then the roots of the plants grow into the compost first, and then once the newspaper or cardboard breaks down, then the plants grow their roots down into the native soil as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. The first step for your no-dig garden is to prepare your layer of whatever you're going to cover the ground with. Today I'm going to be using cardboard boxes. If you're using printed material, you want to either use boxes that don't have any printing on them, or boxes that you think that printing is either minimal or biodegradable. And this box, I believe the ink on here is biodegradable and not harmful to the earth. You also have to remove any tape, any packing labels, anything glossy. You don't want any kind of glossy paper. So if you're using newspaper, don't use the advertising inserts that are glossier paper. So get rid of anything that won't degrade in the soil. So I'm going to have to prepare my cardboard boxes real quick before I get underway. So here's a box that I was thinking about using, but I don't think I'm going to in the end because it feels pretty glossy on top of this ink, and I can't see anything on the box that says anything about the ink that they use. It says the box is corrugated recycled paper and that the box is recyclable, but I don't know about the ink, and I don't want to put something questionable into my earth, so I'm not going to use this box. This one, on the other hand, does not feel glossy to my touch, so I think it's a little bit safer to use. Okay, so I've gotten a start on my coverage for the ground, and I've run out of boxes. I don't have any more cardboard in my house, I don't think. I'm going to have to go on a cardboard hunt to see if I can find some more to finish that back corner before I lay my compost on top of the cardboard. Yeah. But you can see that I've kind of overlapped it a little bit on the flat parts, where the flaps are. I've overlapped it so that we don't get too many weeds or grass growing up through those cracks. We will have weeds coming up, we will have grass coming up, but I'm going to try to limit it by overlapping as much as I can. And I've cut it away from the root of the shrub here, so that way water can, in the early days before the cardboard is broken down, the water can still get down into that shrub. Okay, I need to go look for some more cardboard or newspaper. I found some more things that I can use as my soil layer. I got some paper grocery sacks that I can lay down, and I found some plant carrying trays from a nursery. So I'll be using those to finish this project. But before I go any further, I remembered that I have a couple more shrubs and maybe some perennials that I want to put into the ground, and their root balls are going to require a deeper dig than just the compost on top of this cardboard. So I think I have to go get those plants and get them in the ground here before I continue with my cardboard project. Okay, the first plant that I want to get in the ground today is a dwarf Burford holly. This is full sun plant, evergreen. Mature size is 6 feet tall, 4 feet wide, although you can trim it into shapes to keep it smaller than that if you want. It's cold hardy to zone 6, so down to -10 Fahrenheit. And yeah, so it's a pretty solid, easy grow, easy care evergreen to put into your foundation. So this is one. And then the next thing that I have here is something without a plant tag, so I'll have to give you the info on the screen. But this is a Sunshine Ligustrum from the Southern Living Plant Collection. And this is, I'm not sure if it's evergreen or not, I'll have to look that up. I think it is evergreen, although its leaves are much more tender than the holly. And in the full sun, it takes on a beautiful yellowish glow, hence the name Sunshine. And then if you put this in more shade, which it can take more shade, it goes to a more limey green color and less yellow. So this is going to be a nice color contrast out here, I think. So I'm playing around with placement. I'm not exactly sure. I have to go get the plant tag for the ligustrum to see how big it gets, because that will determine how close or far apart, mosquitoes, how close or far apart I put these shrubs. The magenta Rose of Sharon will grow to be 4 to 6 feet wide, although it can be pruned as well. So I really shouldn't put it probably not that close. Of course, the Rose of Sharon will grow up, and I can take some of the leaves off the bottom if I want to, although I'm not really a fan of the tree-formed Rose of Sharon. So, and then the Burford holly, if it gets to be 4 feet wide, then I'll need space for it too. And yeah, also the other thing is I want to have room in here for perennials. So yeah, I'm not sure where I'm placing things yet. So currently I'm not liking this because they're all in a row here. Also, it spreads this garden out further than I wanted to do at this time. Eventually, maybe this garden will go all along here over and curve over to that tree. But for today, for this season, I don't have enough plants to fill that in. And so I think I need to be a little bit smarter about where I put these plants. I need to go find the tag for this ligustrum so I can see what its size is going to be. Okay, here we go. This is the tag for the Sunshine Ligustrum. I did not pay $34.98 for it. I believe I paid $17.49, 50% off. Okay, so it says it grows 3 to 6 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide. It wants full sun, and it's hardy in zone 6 and south in the US. So where should I put this little guy? I'm thinking about the color scheme that I have. This is a spilled wine Weigela, Weigelia, however you say it. And it's gonna be this green color, and then it will eventually mature. The leaves will mature down to a more burgundy. So this will be a reddish burgundy green color, and it will be 3 to 4 feet around and tall. And then this is going to have that bright gold chartreuse color that kind of pulls in the gold from these cypresses up there, false cypresses. Then I have the rich solid green of these Burford hollies, and glossy and beautiful. And then the lighter green and softer textured petals, not petals, but leaves of this Rose of Sharon. So I have a few different colors of green going on here, and I like that contrast. So I'm going to just play around a little bit with placement of these shrubs and see what I can come up with, knowing that this gets 3 to 6 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet wide. This goes 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. This goes 4 to 6 feet wide and 8 to 12 feet tall. Crazy big, so that'll fill in up here. And then this is 4 feet wide, 6 feet tall, or smaller if you prune it. You can also prune the ligustrum, by the way. Well, I think I've landed on this. Let me tell you why. So, first of all, if you're coming into my house, walking up my path, this is the way you'll see this collection of shrubs. So it looks good here. It's a nice smattering of colors, and also there will be perennials and annuals in this area here. I'm thinking that in time, if we stand like in front of the house, like right here, let me move the tripod. We stand in front of the house centered like right here, then in time, the Rose of Sharon is going to grow to be about this tall. And the ligustrum will only be about this tall. And the holly will be about this tall. And I'll probably trim the holly into a pyramid shape. And so I think having a pyramid here, and by the way, I have these two shrubs also for this side. So I'm thinking also about symmetry. So I'm thinking that if I have a pyramid of holly here, and then a low mound of gold here, and then a tall Rose of Sharon here, and then the mound of Weigela here. That'll be a nice variation of height and texture and color, within which I can plant daisies I just purchased. I have some allium I just purchased, and then over time continue adding in more perennials. So I'm thinking that's best. Now, I didn't put any of the shrubs in this space right here because I don't really want to have a crowded up against the sidewalk. And also for symmetry purposes, I have the lamppost over here. So if I were to put, say, the ligustrum right here, I'd feel like I want to put the other ligustrum right here, right by the fence pole. And I don't really, not fence pole, but lamppost. And I don't really want to do that. I don't want to have a shrub right up against that. So, yeah, I'm happier having annuals and perennials around that so that I can more control what roots do around the wiring that's there. So I'm landing here, I think. And then I know that over time I'll have space for putting things here and here. And then as far as the shape of the bed, I had originally, when I first got started out here, I was originally thinking it would be a quarter round, like a quarter of a circle, like this. But now I'm thinking that it'll be an inverted curve this way. It'll start kind of back where that beer box is, and then it'll curve right along, skim right along the back of the Rose of Sharon and along the back of the holly, and then out to the street. And then I'll do the same thing on this side once I have more cardboard. So I think that's my new plan. Yeah, okay, let me get to digging. Okay, so I hope you can see how hard pan clay our soil is. It is so hard to dig in here. Water just runs right off the surface of our ground and rolls down the hill. It doesn't really soak in. So when you have a situation like this with clay soil that is so thick and compacted like this, the best thing to do for your shrubs is to plant them high. And that means don't put the root ball all the way down to the soil level. Plant them an inch or two or even 3 inches depending above the soil, so that once you put compost on top and then mulch, these roots here will at least have a fighting chance of drying out, while these roots down here probably are going to sit in a pool of very wet soil because it's so hard and impermeable underneath. So plant in clay soil, plant high. All right, so I'm going to do my normal biotone in the hole. find a good front. These roots are a little bit compacted around the ball, so I'm just going to tease them out a little bit. Now that I look at them, they probably could stand that a little bit. I wonder how long this has been in this pot. I don't really know a whole lot about the nursery business. I wonder, was this put in a pot like in 2020 and it's been in that pot since then? Or was this just put in a pot this spring in 2021 or over the winter? I don't know. I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels about nurseries and how things grow, but I am just a home gardener. I don't know. But I'm always interested in that sort of thing. Okay, so that's pretty loose stuff there. So where did I say the front was going to be? Oh. Now these clods of dirt and sod here, I am not going to do anything with these. I'm not going to put them in the compost or anything. I'm just going to leave them upside down here in the grass. So I could probably, I don't know, could probably use this to backfill with upside down. Let's try that and see what happens there. I don't know, I might just be giving myself all kinds of grass against my root ball now, but cardboard will be up against here and then compost and mulch. So I don't know, I'm always trying new things. Let's give it a shot. There, and you can see how far above the soil line I've made this root ball, and that's going to be just fine. We'll be putting cardboard up here, we'll be putting compost, and we'll be putting mulch. So these roots will have a chance to shed their water downhill. Got both of the new shrubs into the ground here, and I'm getting ready to water them in. But as I was planting, I was thinking that I really need to deeply water all of this area that's going to be covered with the cardboard. And the reason for that, I believe, is that I'm going to be putting cardboard and then compost and then mulch right on top of here. And if I do that, then I'm essentially locking in dryness for a very long time until we get back into a really rainy season, which we aren't going to be doing for quite some time. So I need to water this soil really deeply before I put on the cardboard and the compost and the mulch, so that when I do put those on there, I'm locking in moisture, not locking in dryness. Okay, and while I'm at it, for these pieces of sod that I took out, I'm just turning them upside down, and then I'm going to really water them, get the soil out of their roots, like this. And then I'm just going to leave them there and let them be part of the soil from now on. That's what I've done over there with yesterday's planting sod, and that's what I'm going to do today with this. I'm only the slightest little bit worried that all this water is going to actually activate this grass to grow. But since it's going to be under the cardboard and under the soil and under the mulch, I'm hoping that I don't have too much breakthrough, but we'll see. I've never done no dig, so it looks a little sketchy to me with regard to weed control, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I don't have exactly the coverage that I wanted. I've got lots of cracks through which weeds are definitely going to come up, which frustrates me. And I've got little gaps between the boxes. So yeah, it's just going to be what it can be. Also, I only brought out 4 of my compost bags. I have 8 right now. I'm definitely going to need more. So this project turned out to be way bigger than I anticipated, which is very often the case with projects around here. Okay, this is as good as it gets with 4 bags of compost and the cardboard that I have. I have 4 more bags of compost in the back. I'm going to pull those out and use them here. I'll just have to buy more to do the other side. And I think I've read and watched videos in the no dig method. You're supposed to put your cardboard down and then a good 6 inches of material on top of that. I am not going to have 6 inches of compost or soil on top of that. I will have probably 2 inches, 3 inches or so, and then mulch on top of that, but I'm not going to make it to 6 inches. No way. So let me just do the best I can do. Okay. I've got more cow manure compost, and I found another box, so I can finish over there. Okay, I've got my 8 bags of compost spread, and somebody smarter than me is going to have to tell me how to keep this soil on this cardboard when it rains or when I water. I know, it's just going to slide right off onto the sidewalk like it already is. So does that mean now I have to invest in edging over here? Or should I pull this back and dig out this grass? Probably what I should do. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this right here, honestly. I don't know what's going to happen with that over time. But, well, at this point, I guess I understand the no dig part of it in the center, or if you're on a flat piece of land and you're doing vegetable rows. But the no dig on a slope up against hardscape, not sure how that's going to work. I'm going to think on this and see what I want to do about these edges against the sidewalk and the front walk. And also back here. How am I going to keep this grass out of here? I guess I'll have to dig a trench. So it's not exactly no dig. I could put down a rock border or a brick border. I don't want to do that because then I have to put bricks and rocks around the rest of my yard. Yeah, I don't know. I get it in the middle. I'm not sure about the edges. But anyway, here we are. I'm going to take a little bit of a break and then I'll get some mulch on top of here and figure out what I'm going to do about these edges. To solve the problem of the mulch and soil falling off the cardboard onto the front walk and the sidewalk, what I've decided to do is cut away the first 6 inches of cardboard and then dig out the grass from the first 6 inches away from the sidewalk, and then just gently put the compost near, but not all the way down to the sidewalk. And then the mulch will come down and be a little bit closer. And that way, I think I'll be able to manage weeds against the sidewalk a little bit better. And also I'll be able to manage the runoff of the soil a little bit better, I'm hoping. That's my strategy. Okay, I hope you can see what I've done here. I have cut a trench that's about 2 or 3 inches wide at the top and V-shaped at the bottom, right along the back edge along the grass. And the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want the lawn grass to really have a quick and easy way back up into the new flower bed. I know there's tons of grass underneath the cardboard in here, and I am going to be pulling grass out of this bed over the future. That's just the way no dig is. You have to keep repeating the cardboard and the mulch process to totally eradicate it. But for this season and to get a jump start on next season, having this trench along here will help keep the lawn out of the flower bed, and it'll help delineate between the mulch and the grass, so that in the future when I want to edge along here, it'll be so much easier. Now I'm just going to take the sod that I dug out back to the compost pile, and then start bringing more loads of mulch up here and finish up top dressing this garden bed. Brings me to the end of my new flower bed project, my first ever no dig project. I hope I did it right. I don't know. If you know more about no dig, let me know in the comments down below. What should I do differently when it comes to doing this side of the garden? Because I do have to do this one still. And if I could learn to do it a little bit more effectively, I would love that. So please let me know if you have suggestions for me. Or if you have questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll try to answer them the best I can. Thank you so much for joining me here today, this 2-video series to get this side of the garden done. I really appreciate you watching and liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. I love building a gardening community, learning from each other. And also, the more people who like this video or maybe share it or comment on it, the more people will be able to see it and then join our community. And so why don't you go ahead and do that if you feel led to do that. And also, if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you come along for the ride on more and more videos throughout the coming season. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful gardening day, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.